I think it's quite important to know how people lived in these times, and especially these people who heard this music, because they have not been the common people, but the people next to the king. And they surely had a very different way of life and a different side of life. For example, if somebody writes, you should play it very fast, then I think for us maybe very fast is something completely different, because maybe we are moving much faster than they moved 300 years ago, because we are also used to move, for example, in train with 300 kilometers per hour, and they surely weren't used to move faster than, I don't know, 30 kilometers an hour. So that's a thing which really changed a lot. And a lot of attitudes, beliefs, or whatever are very different nowadays. And I think for understanding the music, it helps a lot if we know how people have been thinking in these times.
Music, and also, for instance, this is the most bizarre example, also the work of the avant-garde of the 60s is right now already not, it's so far away that we don't have the right feeling for it. So we have to do also at the avant-garde music from the 60s, we have to read articles about it, we have to listen to early recordings, because the music sounds totally different as what we would do by intuition right now. So it's not just Baroque music, it's every music should be done in a historically informed way. So it should be done after reading, listening to examples if there are, reading all the sources, and there should be a way developed to play this music it was meant to be, not to take it too easy, you know.
Sometimes we say in our world that if somebody knows too much, then it's difficult to play, because you cannot realize everything you want or you know about the era. I think it's very important. I mean, it's important to have some stylistic knowledge about the era. You know, if you look at old paintings, then you see how much work they put in that, and you know, and you look at modern paintings, and it's much more about oneself and about the idea. It's the act of creation is another one, and I think I mean, if we compare, for example, with music with painting, then we could say that probably the musicians were much more precise, much more concerned with detail, and probably they even had much more time to work on the music.
Well, in which case we have no record of how what the quality of performance was in those days. So I suppose you're always, as an individual, aspiring to be better and better every time you perform, so you try to keep as close to the music as you can, and you look to the music for the inspiration. And as a performer, you always try to better your performance.
In my opinion, what is important is not so much the way it was done, but what the music was supposed to, the effect it would have on the audience, and the message or the effect it would have on audience, and that's what we should try to achieve today with today's audience, to produce the same feelings, the same impressions than composers or music did at that time. And for that, every information is useful, not only the score.